everyone, and welcome to This Day. Today is Friday, May 10th, and I'm your host, Bobby Higgins. Thanks so much for joining us. Coming up on the show today, Dan McEachern will be here with McEachern Construction, and he has also brought with him longtime friend and customer Penny Fowl. And today is Friday, so that means Sports Corner. Cole Young will be here to give us this week's Sports Corner. And now let's take a look at today's Stay Informed. VMS is calling all interested Third Mutual members to submit candidate applications to fill 2 director vacancies on the VMS board. You can pick up your application and instructions from the office of the CEO located in the community center. Completed applications and candidate statements are due by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, May 22nd. If you need any help or further information, you can contact Michaela or Paul, and they will get you all the information and all the help that you need. Now let's take a look outside at the weather. It is still pretty cloudy out there. Today it'll be mostly cloudy through the mid-morning, and then it'll gradually clear with a high of 73 and a low of 56. On Saturday we'll have partly sunny skies with a high of 74. On Sunday it'll be sunny with a high of 76. Monday is mostly sunny with a high of 73, and Tuesday it'll be cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing with a high of 73. And now let's take a look at the sunrise and sunset. If you've been watching all week, I have been showcasing each of my 3 kids that we just got back from Orlando, Florida, where they competed in the Cheerleading Worlds competition. And today, this is my oldest son. You may know him, PJ Higgins, if you've met him here in the studio, but that's him practicing in the video on practice day, and then him flipping through the air during the actual competition. So just thought I would showcase the cheerleading, but that'll be it now until next year. So if you would like to have your photos featured here on This Day, we would love to have them. Please email us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Stay with us because we have McEachern Construction Company coming up right after this. But first, let's take a look at today's meetings.
Are there foods you miss enjoying because of loose or missing teeth? At Fleur Stanger DDS, we understand the joy of savoring every bite. Serving all of Orange County, our team of dedicated professionals are here to guide you towards a healthier, happier smile. And we will give you the best solution to improve your oral health. Call us today at 949-830-0074 for a free exam and consultation. Rediscover the pleasure of eating and smiling. Call Fleur Stanger DDS today.
At Adapt to It, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to It has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to It sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
When it comes to life's most important medical challenges, where do you go? Welcome to the Hoag Institutes. Our top-ranked physicians are experts in diagnosing and treating the most complex medical conditions. Unparalleled expertise, world-class care, all within the Hoag Institutes, right here in OC.
Hi, I'm Dan McEachern. 35 years ago, I was lucky enough to get my start in Laguna Woods. First, building patio rooms, then kitchens. Our cabinets are all built locally in Irvine. It all began with patio rooms, like this Majorca model, which we made into a complete room. I'll pull permits. We'll take care of everything. Give me a call. We'll do a nice job for you.
Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now from McEachern Company is owner Dan McEachern, and he has also brought with him a longtime customer and friend, Penny Fowl. So nice to meet you, Penny. Thank you for joining us today. And Dan, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks.
So tell me, just for those that maybe don't know you or know your business, give us just like a quick little background about your business.
Well, we build patios, patio rooms, and patio covers. And we've done a lot of work in Laguna Woods for the past 30, 35 years, and it's kind of morphed from, started doing patio and patio covers, and then into remodeling and all that, and then back to basically concentrating on patio rooms now and patio covers.
Yeah.
So,
and that's great because summer's coming up, so
yep,
I'm sure that's
always a good time.
Such a wonderful thing that people want. So Penny, tell us, what is your connection with Dan? How long have you guys known each other? How did it start?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably 19 or 20 years I've known
Wow.
him.
Yeah.
Because when I first moved in here, the unit that I was in, the patio cover was just falling off. It was awful.
Okay.
And I called him, and I don't even know how I came
I
to
think
call
it must
you.
have been on the list or something back then. You might have called.
Maybe,
'cause I was-
but he came out and didn't hesitate to tear it down. A lot of people don't want to do demolition on things. It's a pain, I think. But he just took it down and put up a new cover, and I was really happy.
Yeah.
So then when I got ready to redo the kitchen,
yeah.
I called Dan, and I've lived in several units since I've been here.
Oh, really?
And he's always my go-to guy because all the people that he has for subcontractors, they're terrific people. And you know, I think you probably still have a key to the house if I need
I do, I
something
think.
done, right? And he just, I mean, when he quotes a price, that's the price. What he says he's going to do, he does it. I've never had any problem, and I don't know anybody else in the area here that they hire a contractor and they're totally satisfied.
Right.
You know, there's
right.
always a problem, there's always an argument, there's always delays. Dan does everything for you. He gets the permits. His guys show up on time. They're nice guys. They're clean work. And he stands behind everything, every single time. I mean, if there was any kind of a problem, I think once there was a screw that came loose or something somewhere,
Well,
you came right out. You were there in about 5 minutes like it was an emergency. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
He's really
He was on
great.
top of it.
yeah, and when I first met her, and she calls, I went out there and she was sitting on a lounge chair and she had this beat up old cover there, one that we had put in years ago. And she says, can you fix that? Yeah, I can fix that. And I go, place all those panels, take them out and replace them. It's not cheap, like $500. She goes, gives me money, get it done. And so that's how I knew her. And then she called me, was it about 4 years later, maybe, or 3 years?
I don't know, but it wasn't too long.
And so then I'm talking to her, but I didn't know she knew it was me she was calling. And I said, did you used to be like a bail bonds person or something? Yeah. Oh, Penny, it's me, it's Dan. And so then we went out there and worked on her house that she was living in at that time. And then went to another house on the
And
lake.
another house and another house.
And I know it, the lake house, and then that other one. And so
Yeah.
we did a lot of work together over the years.
There's been a long history, and so
Yeah.
obviously there's quite a bit of trust there.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, when you say, I want you to remodel my kitchen, he says, what do you plan on spending? And then he tries to work it out so that, you know,
It's
it
within
comes
that
into your
budget.
budget.
Yeah.
And then, but, you know, he's good. He'll say, but, you know, if we did this, it's only going to be, you know, whatever, extra. And you think about it, and you know, he's right. You know, he's right.
Yeah, sometimes it's those little additional things that maybe you didn't think about, and then later down the road you're like, I wish I would have known about that, or wish I, you know, down the road you're like, okay, $500, $1,000, whatever. You're like, you don't remember that cost, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but you do remember how well it makes things flow,
Sure,
or how
and-
it works. Or,
Yeah, and a lot of people have a really limited budget. I mean, at the time
Yeah.
when I was having him do all this stuff, it wasn't a problem, you know, just do it. But there are people that are on a limited budget, and he'll stick to that. He's really good, and if he can't do it, he tells you, you know, I just,
And sticking to a budget, I mean, that is so important because, yeah, you do sometimes like, this is what I have. I can't go over. You know, I'll add on later if I, you know, can't get everything I want at this
Yeah.
point in time. So
Yeah.
that's a huge thing. Yeah, it's very frustrating when you have people come in and say it's going to be one price, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden there's just
Yeah,
on
you-
top of,
yeah,
on top of, on top
yeah.
of.
Yeah, you just try and give them the price. This is what it's going to cost. If something comes up, hey, listen, we can do this. most of the jobs we do, we start out, it doesn't really end up exactly like that. You make some changes as you go along, and the homeowner comes in, what about this? That's a good idea. Okay, let's do that. So, it evolves a little bit, but generally, you get the end of it, you stick to your price, and people are happy afterwards.
Yeah.
And if I could say, the last house that I was in before the one I'm in now faced the lake, Barber's Lake.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had a really weird shaped patio slab.
Right,
It's kind of
right.
like a triangle, but one of those
Yeah, it was weird,
elongated
I know.
triangles.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put a nice patio cover up there, and I said, can you do that? And he goes, sure, we can do it. And it was beautiful. It just came out beautiful. And I don't know anybody else that would probably take the time to figure out how to put it in the location it was at, and still get a permit for it.
Yeah,
You know?
it was.
great.
Yeah, when you stand back and look at that, and you see the lake out there,
Oh, it's
and you're covered,
beautiful.
and we put that fan up there, a really nice fan. It
Yeah, with
really
lights.
is great.
Oh, it was, and skylights in it and everything.
Right, and
Yeah,
the
I love
skylights.
it.
But
Now, being that it was a different shaped yard, did you have to like custom create?
yeah, and
Yeah,
it
he
took
did.
some
Okay.
math too. You had to
Okay.
figure this out.
Yeah.
You would think it was simple. It wasn't. It was odd to make the way this angle, but it came out with Bob out there and all the guys working on it. Came out great. So it was one of the best patio covers we did.
I think it was fabulous.
Yeah.
It was just
Well, and that's the longevity of the career you've had and being able to know your product, and to be able to come
Yeah.
up with different ways to make
Yeah,
it work.
right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what you're
it was-
paying for too, is
Yeah.
that knowledge that's
Yeah.
in there, right?
Yeah, well, he doesn't just like to do cookie cutter stuff. I mean, he looks at things and tells you his opinion, and he's always got his special touch on things.
Yeah. It's more fun that way.
It is more
Well,
fun.
everybody contributes, and she knows most of the subs. They're still with me today.
Yeah, they are, and
She
they're
just
great.
talked to one of my guys, Rocky, yesterday or a couple of days ago.
I
did
love
something for
Rocky,
you.
yeah.
He loves Rocky. So these are guys that have been with us for 25 years.
Yeah, and you go to some people's homes when they're having a patio cover or anything done, and these guys leave stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
His guys don't do that. They clean up as they work. That's important.
And another thing, she makes sandwiches better than any with it.
Oh.
So that's the key. That's
That's the
why
key.
they're
Don't
doing
feed 'em.
such
Yeah.
a good
These guys
job.
are out there, And she asked me, "You want a sandwich?" And I'm more like, "Well, I don't know, maybe." Well, okay. So I'm out there on the patio. She makes the whole thing, sandwiches, the whole. I'm sitting there. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that was kind of a mistake, though, because then he was always showing up at lunchtime.
And I wasn't the only one that. One of
No,
the
those
subs
guys-
goes, she said, "Yeah, Penny made me a sandwich. She make a sandwich for you too." Oh, okay, good. So.
Well, the clean factor, cleaning up and
incredible.
making the homeowner comfortable during the process, because sometimes that's really hard for some people, having the mess and everything, and they at least by nighttime when everyone cleans up to go home for the day, they at least, I know that was for my mom, that was a huge pet peeve. Whereas for me, I'm like, I'll clean up. I don't, it doesn't bother me.
When you
but
have
I
things
know-
all torn up and you're working, it does bother you.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's like I have bad asthma. And so he knows that, and when they would come to do work in the house, there was going to be any plaster, dust, or anything, they made sure they always closed it off with plastic, plastic it off.
Nice.
That's the only way I could stay in there and be okay, and they never complained about it at all. They were great. So.
Well, that's awesome. Dan, real quick, we're just about out of time. Any products coming out new for summer?
Well, you know what? One of the covers, I did this cover about 25 years ago, louvered cover, and then never did another one. And now the product is kind of back. So we have these patio covers now that we're able to do a louver where you can open it when it's sunny and out or close it in the rain. So that's one of the things we're kind of excited about. That
Yeah, give you
is-
that option. That's
Yeah,
really
give them an
nice.
option.
Thank you, Dan and Penny, for being here
Thank you
today.
so much.
And there's nothing better than hearing a happy customer.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
McHeckern Company has 35 years of exclusively serving all of Laguna Woods. Their specialty is patio covers, rooms, and enclosures. If you'd like to get in touch with them, you can go to their website at mcheckerncompany.com or give them a call at 949-922-3057. Stay with us because we have Sports Corner coming up right after this.
Hi, Welcome to Pacific Financial Planners. We focus on income replacement for your retirement. We have over 3 decades of professional money management experience. We personalize a plan that's right for you and your family. You only get one shot at retirement. Don't you think you better get it right? So give us a call for your free consultation. We can do this over the phone, via Zoom, or in person.
Did you know that tinnitus or ringing in your ears can be a sign of hearing loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Gabby Rodriguez, one of the audiologists here at Amazing Hearing. Contrary to what many doctors may tell you, tinnitus can be helped and often eliminated.
I'm a doctor and I thought I'd have to live with the tinnitus, and my hearing has gone from loud tinnitus to no tinnitus in a week and a half.
Call us today for a free consultation. Amazing Hearing, the hearing and tinnitus experts.
Hello everyone and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young. Spring is finally here and it's playoff time in sports. Before we get into the NBA and NHL playoffs, there were a few different races this past week that made some major headlines, so I'll jump right into it. I previewed it last week, but the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby was last weekend, and it truly lived up to the phrase, the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. In the closest Kentucky Derby finish in more than a quarter century, Mystic Dan pulled off the late push and held off challengers Sierra Leone and Forever Young to win the 150th edition of the historic race, quite literally by a nose. The winning time was 2 minutes and 3.34 seconds for Mystic Dan, followed by Sierra Leone, who also beat Forever Young by a nose for second place. It truly was a photo finish for the top 3 horses, and the crowd of just about 157,000 people were on the edge of their seats for those 2 exhilarating minutes. Continuing the weekend of photo finishes, on Sunday, Kyle Larson won NASCAR's Advent Health 400 by an astonishing .001 seconds in Kansas. Unlike the Kentucky Derby, it was literally impossible to tell with the naked eye who finished first between Larson and Chris Buescher. The finish was so close that Buescher's team and commentators on the broadcast fully believed he had won the race. Like I said, the .001 seconds separating first and second place is now the closest finish in the 76-year history of the NASCAR Cup Series. The pictures are just absolutely incredible. It looks like it's centimeters between the 2 top cars. The high-speed camera technology used to determine the winner is pretty impressive. NASCAR writer Zach Albert writes, NASCAR uses a line scan photo finish camera and software system called Finish Links. The image from Sunday's Cup Series finish showing Larson's number 5 Chevrolet just ahead of Buescher's number 17 Ford is a composite of thousands of tiny vertical image slices from the start or finish line. When cars cross the line, the camera captures several thousands of precise, time-stamped images per second to create the photo finish result image. In this instance, the appearance of Larson's front splitter braking the plane to complete the final lap. That composite image was made available shortly after the checkered flag to the NASCAR control tower, where race officials made the final ruling per the camera. The finish was so close that timing and scoring data initially showed Buescher ahead because it fell within the transponder's margin of error, which is a razor-thin 1.5 milliseconds. The next race in the NASCAR Cup Series will be this Sunday, May 12th at the Goodyear 400 in Darlington, South Carolina. Speaking of historic races, a first-time winner was crowned this past weekend at the Formula One Miami Grand Prix. McLaren's Lando Norris scored his first win in Formula One at a thrilling race on Sunday, beating Red Bull's reigning champion Max Verstappen. Before Miami, Norris held a not-so-great record of the most podiums in F1 without a race win with 15. Max Verstappen started first as per usual, but a mid-race safety car gave Norris an advantage as he moved ahead of the pack. When the race restarted, Norris sped off and no one would catch him. Verstappen ended the race in second, with Ferrari's Charles Leclerc in third. Norris remains in 4th place in the driver's standings, with Verstappen in 1st, followed by Sergio Perez and Charles Leclerc. McLaren is now in 3rd place in the constructors' standings, behind Ferrari and Red Bull. The next race will be next weekend at the Italian Grand Prix. All right, now moving away from all the racing and into the playoffs. The second round of the NBA playoffs tipped off with Game 1 of the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves. Denver has been one of, if not the best team in the NBA all season, and breezed past the Lakers in round 1. But even though it's early in this series, it seems the Nuggets might be in some trouble. The Timberwolves' Anthony Edwards scored a playoff career high and a franchise postseason record, 43 points as Minnesota beat the defending champion Nuggets 106-99 in Game 1. Edwards was unstoppable in the first half, scoring 25 points, and he was supported by players like Karl Anthony Towns, who had 20 points in the game. The team also shot an insane 71.1% from the floor in the second half. Game 2 was Monday night, and it went pretty much exactly the same. Again, led by Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, they overpowered the Nuggets en route to a shocking 106-80 victory. Denver now needs to dig themselves out of this 2-0 hole, and Game 3 will head back to Denver tonight. Tip-off is at 6:30 p.m. The next series that started off round 2 was the much closer matchup of the Knicks and Pacers. In Game 1, Knicks star Jalen Brunson continued his dominance in a 121-117 victory for New York. Brunson scored 43 points, becoming the 4th player in NBA history with 4 straight 40-point games in the postseason. He had 21 in the 4th quarter alone, helping the Knicks come back after being down by 9 early in the 4th. Brunson joined Hall of Famers Jerry West, who had 6 consecutive 40-point games in the postseason, and Michael Jordan and Bernard King, who both had 4. Game 2 was Wednesday night, and while Brunson fell just shy of becoming the 2nd player in history to have 5 straight 40-point games, the Knicks still pulled off a win in a high-scoring 130-121 victory. The Knicks are up 2-0, and Game 3 of this series will be today at 4 p.m. The other 2 series, the Celtics-Cavaliers and Thunder-Mavericks series, started on Tuesday night. Starting with the Celtics, they came out firing on all cylinders in Game 1 and walked away with a whopping 120-95 victory. Jaylen Brown scored 32, Derek White made 7 3-pointers and added 25, and Jason Tatum finished with 18 points and 11 rebounds. Game 2 was last night, and the Cavaliers pulled off a win, evening the series at 1-1. Game 3 will be tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Then, for OKC in Dallas, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists to help the top-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Dallas Mavericks 117-95 on Tuesday night in Game 1 of their Western Conference semifinal series. Game 2 of this series was also last night, and the Mavericks tied the series 1-1. Here's the schedule for the remainder of the NBA weekend. Be sure to tune in to every game, as we only have a few more games left until basketball season officially comes to a close. That same sentiment goes for the NHL. The Boston Bruins and Florida Panthers opened up round 2, and Boston absolutely dominated in Game 1, coming away with a 5-1 win. Goaltender Jeremy Swayman made 38 saves for Boston on the night. Game 2 was Wednesday night, and this time, the Panthers got their revenge, beating the Bruins 6-1. Alexander Barkov had 2 goals and 2 assists for the Panthers, Brandon Montour had a goal and 2 assists, and Sam Reinhart had 4 assists as the Panthers breezed through Game 2. Game 3 will be back in Boston tonight. The New York Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes then kicked off their series, and Game 1 was much more of a nail-biter than the Boston-Florida game. Mika Zibanejad had 2 goals and an assist for the Rangers, who defeated the Hurricanes 4-3 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference second round at Madison Square Garden. Game 2 of this series was Tuesday night, and this game was back and forth, with 3 lead changes and 3 ties that led the game into double overtime. Vincent Trocheck finally scored in the second overtime on a power play goal at 7:24 into the second overtime period, and the Rangers beat the Hurricanes 4-3 to take a 2-0 series lead in the second round playoff series. Game 3 was last night, and the Rangers are now 1 game away from a sweep and advancing with a 3-0 lead. On the western side of the bracket, the Dallas Stars have eliminated the reigning champion Vegas Golden Knights and have moved on to face the 2022 champion, the Colorado Avalanche. Game 1 of that series was Tuesday night, and believe it or not, that game also went into overtime. The Avalanche were down 3-0 to start the second period, and things looked pretty bleak. But goals by Valerie Nichushkin and Cale Makar in the second period brought them within 1. Then, with just 39 seconds left in the game, Nathan McKinnon tied it up and sent it into overtime. Miles Wood scored at 11:03 into overtime after getting the puck from Andrew Cogliano, and the Avalanche beat the top-seeded Dallas Stars 4-3 in the opener of the second round Western Conference Series. Game 2 was back in Dallas last night, and the Stars righted the ship, picking up a win and tying the series. And finally, the matchup of Vancouver and Edmonton began on Wednesday. The Edmonton Oilers were up by as many as 3 goals at one point, but an incredible 3-goal third period by the Vancouver Canucks sealed the comeback and their shocking 5-4 upset over Edmonton. Elias Lindholm got the comeback started with 2:59 left in the second period. JT Miller cut it to a 4-3 lead at 9:38 of the third, and Nikita Zadorov tied it with 6:13 remaining. Connor Garland then broke the tie with 5:34 left, ensuring the win. Game 2 will be tonight at 7 p.m. in Vancouver. That just about does it for this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. Be sure to come back next week for more updates on playoffs, racing, and whatever else happens in the next week in the sports world. There are plenty of games to watch and enjoy, but like I said to start the show, it's finally spring and the weather is incredible, so make sure to enjoy the outdoors as well. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.
Whether you are physically active, playing pickleball or golf, or have trouble with daily activities, Trishulo is thoughtfully crafted with your needs in mind. Our unique formula can help provide relief when you need it most. Apply a small amount to your hands, knees, neck, shoulders, or any other areas of discomfort. Gently rub in a circular motion until thoroughly dissolved. There are no artificial chemicals, just natural plant compound to nourish your body. Endorsed by athletes, loved by all, there is nothing like Trishulo Organics. Don't let pain control your life. Take action today.
Hi, my name is Gary Russell, and I recently have moved to Laguna Woods Village. At Live Smart Technologies, we specialize in 3 things: home automation, simple security systems, and home computer networks. We are knowledgeable, very affordable, and genuinely want to help you. In the coming weeks, we will be talking more about how these amazing systems can benefit just about everyone. We provide free estimates and will schedule an on-site walkthrough at your convenience. Give us a call.
It's time to take a look at today's movie here on Village Television. Today's movie is Don Juan DeMarco, starring Johnny Depp, and it's being brought to you by Hoag Medical Center. And your showtimes today are 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without. Don Juan DeMarco is a romantic comedy drama about John Arnold DeMarco, a man who believes himself to be Don Juan, the greatest lover in the world. Clad in a cape and domino mask, DeMarco undergoes psychiatric treatment with Dr. Jack Mickler to cure him of his apparent delusion. But the sessions have an unexpected effect on the staff, some of whom find themselves inspired by DeMarco's delusion. The most profoundly affected is Dr. Mickler himself, who rekindles the romance in his complacent marriage. And now let's take a look outside. It's still kind of cloudy out there. It will be mostly cloudy through mid-morning, and then it'll gradually clear, and we'll have a high of 73 and a low of 56. On Saturday, we'll have partly sunny skies with a high of 74. On Sunday, it'll be nice and sunny with a high of 76. Monday is mostly sunny, and Tuesday, it'll be cloudy in the through till the mid-morning, then gradually clearing with a high of 73. Looking ahead, tomorrow on this day, we have Soka University, and they're going to be talking about their upcoming student and faculty music performances, so make sure you check back in for that. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I want to give a big shout out to all the moms and grandmothers for having a happy Mother's Day this weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed the show for this day. I'm Bobby Higgins. Have a great day, everyone.